Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike coming at you, the weekly news and review for October 18th, 19th, 2025, 2025. Gave away the secret that I recorded the day before, didn't I? We've got news, Transformers news, Masterpiece Transformers news, all kinds, but not a ton because we're about a week away from TFCon, and this picture is credit to Jermaine Sutton. We got some TMNT stuff and some TMNT stuff and some TMNT stuff. This stuff will not be in the Show.Z segment, but you can pre-order it there. I just have too much in the Show.Z segment. They have so much news. And yes, TH Sport Reviewer code. This is BBTS exclusive. We'll talk a little more about it. I'll actually read a little bit more about it when we get to the segment. Have a little more information. I saw it on BBTS and I thought, oh, Storm Street Fighter exclusive for BBTS. We'll try to be clear about that. Wave 2 is up, and turns out people were right. These are the vintage figure pictures. They're still developing Wave 2, and yeah, I'd like to see them do the whole line. If the prices were reasonable enough, I'd be in on it. And then we've got some NECA. They don't want to give up their turtles. They just keep making turtles any way, shape, or form. They can make turtles. They'll make turtles. But not gargoyles and not Dungeons and Dragons, and okay, we won't go down that route. We got some G.I. Joe stuff, not just this, but some of this stuff I covered in yesterday's video I'm going to touch on here quickly, but I won't spend a lot of time on that because obviously I made a whole video about that, but with the steals and deals and stuff showing up at clearance, the minute it was put on the shelf is pretty impressive. And then Micronauts from Super 7, if you're into this, I'm not, but I'm not against it either. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of fun. And well, there's no real Star Wars news, but I actually have news I've created, and I'll go over that. But I do want to talk about this. Feels like the whole internet's been very kind to me this last week. I mean, I guess all my haters are on vacation. Got a lot of 100% likes on videos, so thanks to all of you for all of that. And it costs nothing to be kind. I'm not a big fan of Deadpool, but I loved the Nice Pool, and I loved the last movie. And with that, I always try to put a smile on everyone's face. Every time I interact with somebody, whether it's a compliment, a real compliment, not a fake compliment, or telling a joke, so hopefully this news puts a smile on your face. Coming up. What's new at Show.Z Store? They're getting caught up from their vacation there, and now we've got a lot of stuff showing up. We've got the Karatomi Beast Wars Rat Trap Masterpiece. It's Masterpiecey, and yeah, that's showing up. So you'll be getting your payment request from them very soon, or already. Same thing with the Missing Link RC-ZA. Both versions should be showing up pretty soon if you're into it. But the more interesting thing is it's kind of their Masterpiece stuff. This week we got to see Blast Off, and this is going to be the last component of the Magic Square Bruticus, and I'm kind of happy to see it get down. Now, it is $144. The price is continually creeping up on these simply because of the fact that it's just creeping up. This is going to have more components and stuff. I think it's going to have the waist. I think it's all going to come together with this one. Well, it has to because it's the last component. So I'm looking forward to it and eventually get this bad boy built, put into display, and just move on. So pretty exciting stuff right there for Bruticus. Now this is the transition where we go from the Show.Z Store stuff, but these pictures came from Show.Z Store, so that's why it's transitioning into the Masterpiece realm. But this is going to be coming in stock soon there also. And they do this whole, it's sold out till they process all the orders, and then what's left they put back up. So that's how that works. This is $160 at Show.Z Store versus other places that want $215 or whatever they're asking. Just want to point that out. Now, I think it looks pretty good. I always prefer the Ratchet to the Ironhide in these, but I don't have the Ironhide yet, but I'll have them both. Hopefully I can review them at the same time. I think it saves time, and like, who really wants to sit through watching the same exact figure reviewed twice? It just gets redundant when they are pretty much the same figure in different color schemes. But the alt mode there, the transformation seems involved. I think the transformation is every bit as involved with the tracks, but we'll get into that, get on track with that here in a bit. But a good looking figure nonetheless. They've got some good pictures for us, and I think it is kind of interesting when they show us this picture. This picture here, where he's working on Ron. No, it's not Ron. This one's Warhorse. And Nice how the chest opens up. A lot of fun they're having with their own figures in the photography. Sticking with fans toys, Sovereign 2.0. I mean, again, the whole conversation is, why are they working on this instead of, say, a 2.0 of Spotter, which people would love to have? And because this technically would sell more units than a reflector figure. So that's just the facts in this business. And if you want to make money and make the most money, plus they wouldn't be able to charge as much for the Spotter set as they would for this. A lot of reasons. It's all driven by money. I do say Fans Toys does support the fans to a point, but they also support positive cash flow, and they think this will do it. It probably will, actually. I know a lot of people are going to dump their 1.0s, and it's funny because I remember when the 1.0 Sovereign was like pushing $350, $400, even though the original release was like $160 or $200 or something like that. And then this is going to be like the 1.0 at 100 or less, or maybe 120 or something. People are going to be dumping theirs when this comes out. And so smart people are trying to sell their 1.0 off right before this comes out. I don't blame them, but then again, I like to have them all for comparison, and I'm in no hurry to get rid of my extras. Shout out to Jermaine Sutton in the Masterpiece group that somehow got this picture. If you feel like we got derailed for a moment, we're going to get back on tracks with this picture here. I want to say this about the video. I reviewed this guy. It is quite involved in a transformation. I actually thought I should have just reviewed my transformation back and put that up as a separate video down the road, because it's as reverse intuitive as the actual transformation, but I think that might have been helpful to people. I'm never going to transform this thing again, so I think I might start doing that in the future. I don't know. I don't think people watch me for the transformations. What I have to say about this, though, and the one in the center is the Star Toys, and people saying that this is not definitive, this is not the best one, the transformation is a challenge. It is. Nothing broke. Everything that popped off popped back on. But I will say this. If you think X-Transbots or Fans Toys is going to give you one that's less engineered, that is going to be, just say, an easier, smoother transformation than this, then I don't think you've been paying attention. There's no chance of that. There's zero chance. So this is a fantastic release. And yeah, there is die-cast in the top of the foot. I didn't know, really pay attention to that. The die-cast that's in the knee is really hardware, but okay, it's metal. So there is a little bit of die-cast in this bad boy versus what I was saying. By the way, I highly recommend it. If you don't have one, get one. If you are just happy with Takara, then you can stick with Takara. But I recommend this guy if you don't have one. Alright, so we have a picture of Magnificent Mecha in both modes from Spicy Animation, Maximal Hearts, who's actually killing it over there and on their channel. And this is the green version. So little information about this guy here, and it's one that I actually had planned on talking about, and I just missed it for some reason. Almost 12 inches tall, 11.81 inches tall. It comes with a figure, weapon, accessory, limited character card. It is almost $300. It is $289.99. And with that, it is just, they call it the green version. It has ABS, die-cast, and die-cast. So looks pretty interesting if you're into this. You're getting some of these live-action movie type characters with some different colorations if you want to. Or you can head over to Spicy Animations or Maximal Hearts YouTube channel and check it out. You know you're getting closer to TFCon when you see exclusives. This is the Fans Hobby MB-08B Hellsman, and it is a Chosen Prime Fans Hobby exclusive for TFCon Chicago 2025. There's only going to be 600 pieces worldwide, $280, and you'll be able to buy it at the Crown Plaza in Chicago O'Hare Hotel and Conference Center on October 24th through the 26th. If quantities last, who knows? It looks interesting, fascinating, and these exclusives are very short run if you're into it. So I believe all these pictures were from the Japan Hobby Show, Model Hobby Show. And so the first picture I want to show is Transformers crossover Evangelion gray prototype, and that's what it looks like. If you're interested in all of that good stuff, then you get it. I believe it's MPG, so it's like Masterpiece adjacent. Is that the best way to, if you call it Masterpiece adjacent? Not going to be Masterpiece in size. From now on, Takara puts something out that needs to be a ruler, not in centimeters. Put it in inches. Takara Overgear, Ironhide, and Blackout revealed. So that's how they look, if you're interested in those. And I'm not sure if those are actually at the event or not. And so I guess I'll throw this other picture up. It's not a close-up on the figures. I prefer looking at bot modes. But here we go with some alt mode action going on right there. 2026 coming next year. If you're interested in all this stuff, it looks fascinating. Here is Sideswipe, MPMN, Revenge of the Fallen. Sideswipe. I got it. I think I got it. I don't have all of the acronyms completely done, but there he goes. And live action movie is getting some action. It looks good. It matches the source material well. Now, I still don't really understand exactly where they're going with this artwork, but this was the Rise of the Beast Scourge and Predacon's early concept by Eddie Del Rio, and this looks fascinating. I really do like the way it looks. Looks like a whole lot of fun. Here's another picture, which is how Scourge turned out. I'm just going to pick a few that I think look really cool, because there's a lot of different concepts that they went through until they figured out what they're going to do. And I guess that's how it works. And I just like scrolling through this, looking at it, but at the end of the day, I'm a G1er, so I'm a bit lost on some of this stuff, but I can still appreciate the art. It looks fantastic. And to everybody's shock and amazement and surprise, we're actually getting Delta Magnus. What? I'm just joking. Everybody expected to get a Delta Magnus. Everybody. So there it is. It looks fine. It's the only way I'm going to be able to get one or afford one, or I don't even know if I'd want a vintage one. So with that, definitely getting the Missing Link version for sure. And they did show off their Soundwave. It seems like 2026 is going to be year of Soundwave. A new Soundwave. We're going to get the Masterpiece reissued in about this color scheme, and then this issued in this color scheme, and there it is. New Soundwave. But there it goes with the Soundwave. I believe this was at the event also. Guess we're going to get into a little bit of Legends news here. Now this is New Age in their Volcanicus, their Typhon, and different colorations. Last week I showed you the individual pictures. This week they've got some really nice combined pictures, and so let's do some different stuff here. There's another combined iteration of different color iteration they're doing. I mean, New Age just goes ridiculous with the different color variations, but that's actually a good thing. You just pick and choose the one you want. It's a bad thing that if you're like, well, I kind of want a G2 Grimlock in blue right now. Good luck finding one. They're pretty much sold out everywhere. And they don't seem to go back and just be like, let's make all 6 color variations again. You get it while they got it. They'll put something else out that's close to like the first run, just so it's back out there. But they'll come up with something else. They'll give it like an H letter on it or something. But this one's got a V. This one's the V letter. Pretty cool stuff. These blokes from Blockies are showing off what's coming next with their model kits. And there's an Optimus Prime and a trailer and some other good stuff. If you're into all of that. This is China Toy Expo. But I really thought their Bruticus looks pretty good. I think they did a good job with their Devastator, but actually I think this looks even better than their Devastator. So that's, maybe it's from the right angle, the correct angle. Let's see this angle. Maybe not as cool looking from this angle, but still looks good. And overall, doesn't look like, it really doesn't look like it fits in with the rest of them. The rest of them seem like in this picture look chibi. They're doing like 5 different scales now. Well, a company's not, but it would be kind of fun to just stick with the one scale and roll with it. Here's some other stuff they're doing. Looks pretty cool. Fun stuff. I like the clear Megs. I always like that kind of stuff. We got, was it Transformers Prime back there? And is that a Tarn? What Tarn is that back there? See, I don't even know where to stick it. You know, this is some smaller version. This is the new Chug scale rendition of Kang Toys. And for those of you who have recently started following me and Chug stands for Classics, Henkei, Universe, Generations. This was a term coined 15 years ago. They don't call any of the modern lines any of that anymore. But it's just what Hasbro's scale. And actually, the reality of it is, nowadays, the scale is more cohesive to itself. I like how Hasbro's doing that. Anyway, this is supposed to scale with the Hasbro stuff, more or less, close enough. And this is their swoop. Peter Howl. Terra Howl. Terra Howl, I know. It starts with a P. T.A. Hilo. I'll say I think Hasbro does a pretty good job overall with their figures. And these new Seekers look amazing, but I'm just baffled. I don't understand the pricing. I thought it was going to be $35, which is the new... Oh, so we got Legend... Deluxe, and then we've got the one bigger Deluxe, but it's not Leader. Voyager scale. Yeah, Voyager scale. $43. And you're going to buy 3 of them, so that's, after tax, $150 to get... I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be keeping up with the Hasbro. Yes, I do pay $85 for a KO of a Masterpiece Seeker versus what I would $43 for a Hasbro mainline. But I do prefer Masterpiece to mainline. And with that, when they were $30 purchase isn't that big of a deal. But when it starts adding up, eating away at it, I'm just shocked at the 43. And this is everywhere. This is BBTS and it's other places like Amazon. And I first thought maybe they're just gouging because they got it first and they're going to lower the price to the regular price down the road. But it feels like this is the regular price. Speaking of regular price and Regulon Battlemongers or... This is coming into stock. This is one of those Beachcomber that eluded everybody. Some people even wondered if it just fell into the ocean. Like the crate that had them on there when the shipping container fell into the ocean during all that mess. And that's what happened to them all. But had it on pre-order at Entertainment Earth for 2 years. Finally, they're coming in. I'm going to get one for my son. But $28. My pre-order's been in with BBTS for so long, too, that I got the 25, but $28 BBTS if you're interested in this guy. I mean, I guess it's better than 50 on eBay. Now, this is a story I talked about, Sunstreaker getting a new mold and being in the Studio Series, and there's a listing for it, and let me see exactly how it's worded. Studio Series 86, Sunstreaker listing at Walmart. Here's the thing, there's no picture yet. It's going to be deluxe scale, so... 28. Is it just going to be like a recolor of the mold they have? Or is it going to be all new mold? In an era where they're actually giving us all new mold with Soundwave and all new mold, we're getting all new stuff. We're getting all new... The Sunstreaker mold is like 6 years old now. So it's getting old. Like when one of the early Earthrise. And will it be getting a new update? Will be interesting to see. Or will it just be a recolor? This thing has had issues from the first one with the mismatched yellows paint versus plastic because of the clear windshield to the inclusion in a 5-pack to just all kinds of craziness with it. I bet it's just a recolor of the same mold. But what do you guys think? Yeah, you guys were thinking about head, right? That Megatron's head needs an improvement. I didn't think it needed improvement, but this is a Kai Studio, and it's the Studio Series Megatron alternate head, and not sure if we're going to get a whole upgrade kit with it, but I think the head's fine, the one that comes with it, but if you want this, if this is the thing that you need in your life, then go get it. And Kai Studio, I haven't bought anything from a Kai Studio just yet. Actually, not even sure how to buy it, to tell you the truth. And this news is way out of place. This is X-Transbot's Hotspot coming soon. I don't know where they came up with the idea. There's got to be more to this. There's got to be something. This gentleman in the hospital probably has something to do with the project and happy to see it coming to... I have no idea what's going on here. But the Comic Relief Crusader sounds interesting on YouTube. Has this video where this gentleman in the bed sits up real fast when he sees it. Like he's so excited that... the Transformer is here, finally. So this should be coming soon, and we should be able to finish this set relatively quickly X-Transbots, good job. It looks amazing. It looks fantastic. That's a nice box. Looks big, really big. Yeah, fun. If you're anything like me, you were just at Walmart 4 hours ago. Just kidding. I actually don't go to Walmart every day. It's like 5 days a week now. It used to be 3 times a day, several Walmarts, but nowadays there's just no point. There's no need. And if you're looking for sea spray, he's out. I've actually seen them sell completely out and get restocked the whole peg. So Walmart is going to make some money on this. Selling them at full price, and it's because it's the sea spray is a new mold, new design. The Brawn is just a recolor of what they've done in the past, which I will say this is still good work. It is great work. In fact, as kids, we would have loved to have had a Brawn like this and not the Brawn we actually got. I never had Brawn as a kid, so my childhood was amazing. You get where I'm going with that? Megatron ruined my childhood. Nah, just kidding. I'm going to move through this stuff real fast. Real fast. Because I already made a video about this. But not everybody watches my Saturday kind of toss in their video. And they don't realize there's actual legitimate, newsworthy, journalistic news in there. But this is RossCon. If you go to your local Ross, dress for less, then you can get this Doom and Destruction collection, whichever one that one is. And then another exclusive right here, which I don't even think I can even say it all, Javelin or something. But if you're into it, I left them all behind because I'm not into all that. But $20 each, $20. Then there's this stuff showing up at the Target, and you can get 25% off of one item. So, and it's like $83, so you're getting pretty much $20 off this. So you can get it for like $60. I'm tempted. If nothing really good shows up before my coupon expires, I'd buy it, but I'm trying to get out of the Hasbro. I do want the horrible. I don't really care about any of the rest of the stuff in there. And what I've done in the past is sell it all off. It generally takes a while to sell the stuff off nobody wants, but horrible is what everyone's after that I know of. If you're after something else in that 4-pack, it would be interesting to see what people are interested and excited about. The White Prime, the Ultra Magnus without being a Magnus. Two Roads, Divergent, Yellow Wooden. I take the one most traveled by, which is G.I. Joe Classified. Now, these are all up for pre-order. They are all decent figures. Forgot the name of the guy on the right there. I don't really need him. I pre-ordered 2 Night Vipers. That's how much I like Night Viper. I think I'm up to 8 Night Vipers now. Mostly complete, most of the way there. But I get them when I find them cheap, like $10 or $15 or something. But I was going to get a Big Lob. I might still get a Big Lob. I'm just waiting. I want to catch these all at Target and get the Target deals and save money. Or it's not the end of the world if I miss out. But I've gotten everything at Target so far. So everything I've pre-ordered at BBTS, I got a Target, cancel BBTS. So far I've gotten lucky. You know, you don't always get lucky. But none of these are sold out on Pulse. See, usually when these go up, like Night Viper or the Troop Builder, one of them sells out. Nothing's sold out. Which, maybe they're just upping production. Maybe unprecedented low demand. Not that the line's dying. No, it's not dying. Hear people keep saying that. All right, during New York Comic Con 2025, new assortment of Ben Cooper kids costume figures were revealed by NECA. The new assortment features kids dressed in vintage Ben Cooper Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costumes, and they are 6-inch, a set of 7 for $140. That's how you get it. BBTS, Entertainment Earth, Show.Z Prime, Toy Geek, which Toy Geek is TF Source. I mean, or at least that's what I think. And if you haven't heard by now, from 5 or 6 other sources, Wave 2 of the Loyal Subjects Killer Mask Revival line is going to be Jackhammer, Piranha, Night Stalker / Hurricane, and one of my personal favorites, Gator. But I mean, looking at 3 of these are ones I had as a kid and loved them. I just didn't have the Hurricane as a kid. As an adult collector, I had it, and I was just don't have the same type. So I understand why people want the stuff they had as a kid. Makes a lot of sense. Definitely. The Hurricane, I've got it. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just there's no emotional tie there. But depending on price, I'll get them. This is pictured vintage items, wherever they got the picture from of each one of these, and not their actual one yet, but they are talking about, see, what was it? Toy Habits said there's going to be something with Sly Rax with his piranha, but his stiletto mask is going to have the weapon. And if you remember from the show, the stiletto mask shot little darts out. So is it going to like have darts shooting out? That'll be cool. I'm curious, but that's how I remember the show. Maybe I'm wrong. You'll have a giant torch, of course, on Cliff Dagger's helmet and all that. Still fun stuff going on. Curious to see what are the little extra Easter eggs they include in each one of these. And with that, I just hope the price is reasonable. I mean, if these are all 60 or less, like right 60, between 30 and 60, I'd be a-okay with that. Maybe they get a new price point, 45. Like, take it easy on us, please. You know, I didn't instantly pre-order any of this because, well, I guess the price scared me. I was sticker shocked, but the Blanka is $100, so I guess it's Storm Collectibles. And then the other two clear ones are Storm Arena, which I might get one. Not sure which one. Which one should I get if I get one of the Kin or the Ryus? But this is going to be Storm Arena Kin, and it's going to be Storm Arena Ryu. Those are 30. And then Final Challenger Blanka, Street Fighter 2 Ultimates, exclusive, all exclusive BBTS, I believe. And that's one, it's 100. They all look pretty good, but now I'm starting to wonder how many different color variations of everything there's going to be. Like, I went in deep, got everything as it was going, and I'm not that deep into Street Fighter. I just kind of want one of each character and call it a day. But these look fun. Joy Toy is coughing up some more TMNT stuff with the Party Wagon officially revealed. And this is going to be $140 for the Party Wagon and the Turtle Van. And then $35.20 for the Roadkill Rodney set. And I've pre-ordered each one of these. I'm not 100% on what's going on, but this is fun. This is something that if I don't jump on it and get it, there'll be no way to get it in the future. This isn't something that are going to be lingering around BBTS. This isn't something like that. You can only get it from like Show.Z and a couple of other places that import this stuff. And when I listen to these, what was it? They call them like Johnny New Toys. But when I hear him talk about this, and I hear good old Mad Hatter and them, they have this Friday podcast thing when they talk about this stuff. They keep talking about Show.Z. And like they bring that up a lot. And it's like you'd think they were sponsored by Show.Z or something because they talk about it so much. Because that's one of the few places in the world you can get this, and I'm gonna get it, review it, take a look at it, and just keep that tiny little collection going. McFarlane Page Punchers Turtles. I am not in on any of this. I don't need this, not in my life. But some people are super stoked for it. I'm not shocked either. If you like it, you like it. Like if McFarlane came out and they're making a masterpiece Optimus Prime, I'd be curious how it transformed. You know? I'd be like, let's see how this works. You know what I mean? So, I see why people are interested in it. There's no chance Todd Mack is gonna be making a masterpiece Optimus Prime. Maybe he can make like a non-transforming one. I'd take a look at it. But Leo's my favorite. But I actually might bite on Shredder just because I'm just crazy. I like Shredder. It's my favorite character. Imagine being a kid and thinking, my favorite character is Shredder. Darth Vader wasn't my favorite character. Shredder was my favorite character in the show. And still to this day, I like it. I like him. Well, Storm Shadow was my favorite character in G.I. Joe, so it all sort of makes sense. It all rhymes. Speaking of our good friend, Toddy Mac McFarlane, and he is going to be making Fallout figures. So, since I know little to nothing, I played a little bit of Fallout, not a lot. I'm not super into it. But 7-inch figures. Maximus, Hank McLean, the Ghoul, Steph Howard, and Cooper Howard, which is being released as a red platinum figure. So Cooper Howard. And available at Amazon and GameStop. Everything else should be available at BBTS and Entertainment Earth. And there it is. I'm not going to go much more into that. Not something I'm into, but something this different just catches my eye. Launches for pre-orders on 10/23. Here are Micronauts, Baron Karza, Biotron, Force Commander, and Microtron. Here's what I want to know about Microtron. How come some people have been able to find pictures of Microtron with his drill attachment attached, but I can't? His drill attachment attaches to, I guess, anywhere on the chest or on his pelvis. And isn't it supposed to turn? Well, these probably won't. These probably have no mechanism in them, but pretty interesting. I will say this. I'm not huge into the reaction stuff. I love the reaction O-Ring Joe stuff, but the reaction standard stuff is not something that really gets me too excited. But when they made the black hole and the figures of the black hole, like Old Bob or something like this, it's just different. It's out there. Wished it had mechanisms that worked. I thought the original ones were supposed to have working mechanisms, but I might be wrong. I don't collect anything Micronauts, and kind of done starting new vintage toy lines. Next time you're on Mattel Creations, try not to get stung by Stingor. October 21st at noon, or I guess, I don't know. Show up at 5 p.m. Who knows? It'll probably still be there. I'm not guaranteeing anything. 5.5 inches tall, 16 points of articulation. This is the Stingor, and it is Masters of the Universe, fully fledged threat to Eternia. The first male scorpion character of Motu lineup. Stingor literally strikes fright into the hearts of his enemies with a massive posable scorpion tail and claws, plus interchangeable hand attachments to make him more dangerous than ever. Stingor will be available. For Club Grayskull members, you gotta spend that $9.99. That is going to be expensive. And let's see if they started the countdown yet. It's the final countdown. Yep. 2 days, 11 hours, blah, blah, blah. By the time you watch this, I don't know, 2 days till it comes out. I might order some in November. I might throw it on my November order. Or if I miss it, I miss it. Not the end of the world. But I gotta get my $9.99 worth out of it, right? So how do you talk about Star Wars news when there is no Star Wars news? Well, there's this stuff that showed up at Ross, $8 for a figure. Not for me, so I left them behind, but somebody helped themselves to them, and, well, they left Cassian. Nobody wants Cassian Andor. I could have told everyone nobody wants Cassian Andor. Here's stuff showing up at Walmart future clearance deals. You know, I'm surprised, though. You're seeing all of these Acolyte figures showing up for $6 at Ross, but Walmart is just stacked with them, and they're all full price. I guess this is what you're gonna get. This is what you're lucky enough to find. If you go to Walmart for the holiday season, this is what sad kids are going to be getting for Christmas presents. Well, I guess that's the Star Wars segment for the week. This is the divers showing up at Target. If you want to use your 25% off coupon, if you have the circle, and then the red card, you get 5% off, that kind of stuff. Stack those deals and get these things cheap, like I've been doing. Made a whole video about it yesterday, Saturday, and then this showed up too at Target. So there's some stuff showing up out there, and if you're interested, go out there and look. If you haven't been to the stores in a while, go check it out. And the McFarlane stuff, they really want, Todd wants you to go into the store. Here's what I'm hearing. The reason why Todd wants you to go in the store is because he's losing these licenses, and the stuff he's still making, he's losing shelf space. So he wants to maintain as much shelf space with the lines that he has, which is why he's putting so much emphasis on it going to the store rather than pre-orders, is what I'm understanding or hearing. Don't know if that's true. Anyway, I hope this news put a smile on your face sometime during the news. And with that, I can't show this whole meme, but I can show most of it. I guess you know the whole thing, the whole story. But let me know what you think about this news. Like and subscribe to Dear Hanger out.